In 2026, just before midnight, the Middle East felt a shockwave that nobody could ignore. Not a warning shot, not a speech, not a late-night tweet. A coordinated military offensive launched by the United States and Israel against Iran. Israeli officials reportedly called it Operation Roar of the Lion, while the United States referred to its role as Operation Epic Fury, and from the jump, this didn't look like symbolic saber battling. This looked calculated, deliberate, surgical, the kind of move that says, we're not here to posture, we're here to change the board. It was the timing. It doesn't matter if it's launched from a ship hundreds of miles away or released from an aircraft crossing hostile airspace. A shock to the system that's meant to paralyze decision-making in those first critical seconds. Reports indicated that key military and industrial zones across Iran were struck in rapid succession. Tehran felt the pressure, especially districts closely associated with senior government infrastructure. Other strategic cities, tied to aerospace, missile development, and military logistics, were reportedly targeted as well. The objective, analysts suggest, was not random destruction. It was disruption. Take out command structures, hit industrial backbones, rattle the capital. Then came the claim that turned a military operation into a potential geopolitical earthquake. Early chatter suggested that the ultimate objective may have been Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Conflicting reports flooded social media. Some sources claimed the leadership compound had been struck directly. Just a tidal wave of claims and counterclaims. Power vacuums don't stay empty for long. Hardliners rise. Factions compete. Retaliation pressures skyrocket. That's why the world's capitals were glued to their intelligence feeds that night. It's a historic one. It's about information dominance, electronic warfare, cyber disruption, signal interference. These are the invisible tools that shape today's battlefield. If radar feeds are jammed or manipulated, even temporarily, that split second of blindness creates vulnerability. There were also reports of decoys and drone swarms saturating detection systems. Imagine staring at a radar screen flooded with dozens of signatures. Some real, some fake, some moving fast, some loitering, and in modern combat, hesitation can be fatal. But here's the thing, Iran didn't stay silent. Within hours, retaliation reportedly began. Ballistic missiles and drones were launched toward us and allied facilities across the region. Air bases in the Gulf came under threat. Naval assets were put on high alert. Air defenses activated across multiple countries. Sirens echoed across Israeli cities as interception systems lit up the night sky. Mid-air explosions flashed above urban centers as defensive systems engaged in coming threats. This wasn't a one-and-done strike. It was the beginning of an exchange. The question becomes not whether defenses work, but how many threats they can handle at once and for how long. That uncertainty keeps commanders awake. Because prolonged exchanges drain resources, strain logistics, and increase the risk of something slipping through. Zoom out for a second. This isn't just Israel versus Iran. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical maritime choke points in the world, suddenly becomes part of the conversation. Oil prices react fast when missiles fly. Global markets don't like instability, and this region has a history of turning sparks into wildfires. Meanwhile, U.S. naval presence in surrounding waters provides flexibility that land bases can't always guarantee. That mobility becomes crucial in high-risk scenarios. It's not just about firepower, it's about options. And options are everything when escalation is on the table. Retaliation doesn't have to mirror the initial strike to be effective. It just has to create costs. And when both sides believe they're defending existential interests, compromise becomes politically harder. Striking multiple cities at once sends a clear signal. We can reach you anywhere. Each side watches the other for signs of weakness. In this environment, miscalculation is the real enemy. Social media accelerated everything. Within minutes, footage and unverified clips spread globally. Explosions, smoke plumes, sirens, intercession flashes. Narratives formed before facts were confirmed. One scenario is a limited exchange, followed by back-channel diplomacy. A third, more dangerous path involves broader regional escalation, pulling in additional actors. It demonstrated that coordinated, high-precision operations across vast distances are very real in modern warfare. Every radar pulse, every missile launch, every political statement now carries amplified weight. For people far from the region, it might feel distant, but energy flows. Global trade, cyber networks, and alliances tie continents together. Militaries reassess readiness. Intelligence agencies are analyzing data in real time. Civilians across the region are listening for sirens and refreshing news feeds. They can send powerful signals. They can buy time. And that chapter is shaped not just by strength, but by decisions made in the tense hours and days that follow. February 28th was more than a headline. No formal declarations. No slow buildup. Whether those seconds mark the peak of the crisis or the beginning of something bigger depends on what happens next.